Are we live? Is it working? Is it happening? Is it real? Looks like we are. 5 Unbelievable Human-Powered Machines Part 2. I love these suggested videos you're supposed to watch. Oh, that thing looked cool. BSD Dune Buggy Electric Racer Brushless RC Speed Test. Holy crap. Thing does 60 miles an hour. Cool. So, it's actually kind of late. I don't know why I did this, but why not? I did it because I can. So why not? Well, I should have looked to see if there's anyone else actually still streaming. Is there anyone else streaming? I don't see anything. I see Fun in the Country Basement reminder on for tomorrow. Some of their subscriptions. Oh, Techie Dad's still streaming. Oh, crap. He's over it. He'll get over it. I should tell him to come over here. What's up? You just canceled your stream to come hang out on mine? Yeah, why not? Share the wealth, right? Everybody hang out.
Hey, Llama, it's not a problem. If you want to start streaming, because mine is going to be, I'm going to be ending here in probably about 20 more minutes. So, I mean, by all means, though, if you want to keep on, if you want to stream. I mean, you already gave some channel time earlier. I'm good with that.
So, anyways, what are you guys up to? I think everyone else bailed that was on your stream. It's fine. Not really doing anything, anyways. Anyone want to jump in here? Share. Oh, not screenshot. Wrong button, you dummy. That one. Copy. Oh, it just killed. Why did it kill? I know why, because I'm doing his too. Reload. Watching too many streams. Doing too many things. I'm almost out of soda. Which is not a bad thing because I need to stop drinking so much damn soda. I keep trying. It's just too It's not even good soda. It's knockoff Mountain Dew. It's not even good Mountain Dew. It's knockoff Mountain Dew. Did I lose everybody? Why does it say 0 watching? Oh, there we go, 1 watching. Whatever. Anyway, so what are you guys up to? What are you up to, Mr. 3D Manic? Anything fun and exciting? All Mountain Dew has no caffeine. Mountain Dew has no caffeine. It's one of the things they brag about, at least here in the States. It's like written right on the can of a real Mountain Dew that there's no caffeine in it. I don't know if this got caffeine. This might have caffeine in it. This is, I don't know, crap brand. Let's look, just for giggles. 190 calories in this little can. That's like, what, 20 scoops of sugar? Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, citric acid, orange juice, real orange juice, natural flavors, gum, something I can't pronounce, some potassium, something that I can't pronounce, more potassium crap I can't pronounce. Oh, yeah, it's got caffeine in it. Some calcium with some other crap I can't pronounce. And then some more chemicals I can't pronounce. Delicious chemical pie. Just got an Amazon Prime Visa, trying not to buy another printer. Don't. Do not use Amazon Prime's Visa. Oh my God. Do not use Amazon credit card. Bad, so very bad. They are so nasty, gnarly. You know what you do with the Amazon Prime card? Is you put like $10 on it, and then you pay it off a month later. And you put $10 on it, and you pay it off a month later. And then you get rid of it. Use it for credit rating, because it'll give you a really good credit rating. If you screw up once, Amazon is the worst, because it's actually, I mean, they aren't banking it. They have some bank behind it. And I'm trying to think of who it is. Oh, I had 2 friends got screwed. I mean, they were literally like late once, and their fees go up ridiculous. It's like one of the worst cards in the world. I want to say it's Capital One behind them, but it's not. I can't remember who it was, but oh my God, I had 2 friends that got it. And I mean, they were small. They were like $500 cards or $1,000 cards. You know, they got a little behind, especially this time of year. Everyone in my field of work either doesn't work like I don't, or, you know, slows down, and they got a little behind on the bill, couldn't pay the bill. It was only like a $50 bill, but yeah, you get behind on an Amazon Prime card, it will screw your credit so fast you won't be able to see straight. What's up, Michael Castle? What is up? What's up? So, anyways, after that nice discussion on Ron's channel there, I'm thinking I'm going to be ordering me an MKS Janelle card. I'm still debating, because if I can get another Einzy card, I really like my Einzy board. And if they go on sale for $90 again for the refurbs, you got to watch. You got to go to Ultimaker's own site, or not Ultimaker, Ultimachine. Keep doing that. It's Ultimachine. If you go to their site and you watch, you got to search for it. But they have refurbed Einzy boards on sale all the time. because people burn out the MK3s all the time. For one, they just burn out. For two, they people wire them up wrong and they'll snap, and Prusia's replacing them, and then Prusia doesn't even get them. From what I understand, you get if you get a bad Benzie board and you got to return it, they'll replace it, which they'll do. I mean, Ultimate Machine is great at service. It goes direct to them. It doesn't go to Prusia. It'll go straight to Ultimate Machine, and then they just solder on a new chip or whatever burnt out and ship it out again. But they're really good at checking them. And actually, I almost, not that you can see it, but over here is my Max Micron. I put the INZ board on, and I almost got a refurb, and they had a sale, so I got a brand new one. It was only $10 more than the refurb. It happened to be on sale that week. I was like, I might as well get the full brand new one for $10 more. But in most cases, refurb now with a name company. Yeah, one stream to another, Chris. With a named company like Ultimate Machine, Apple, Sony, Samsung, refurb stuff is usually just as good, if not better, than the new. Because like Apple, the machine is particularly Apple's one of those companies, they overcharge for their product in the first place. They don't, if it comes back, they don't ever want to see it again. If they resell it, they want to make sure it never comes back to them ever again. So they like triple check them. They actually a refurbed Mac is actually better than a brand new one. It's gotten more quality control checks in the refurb than it did when it was brand new coming off the line. So a refurbed Mac is generally better than a brand new one. If you're going to buy like an iPad, all my iPads are refurb. My old Mac Mini was a refurb. I think it lasted, 10 years? And it still runs. Brian Vine sent me a brandy new old Mac. New to me. What's up, Sean? What the? What's up? Wow, Chris is like the only one not blue in here. Here, let's make it blue. Oh, you're not blue. Let's make Ron blue. And 3D Trucker, why not? Let's make everyone blue. Oh. Let's just make everyone blue. Now everyone's blue. The whole 5 people watching. I'm not really too worried about it. So anyways, so what are you building there, Chris? And Sean? Sean's got to be doing something cool. He's always modeling. He models more than I do, for crying out loud. Does wild, crazy crap. Dude, I'm loving those houses. How are you doing those so fast? I'm assuming you're just pulling in because that's what you do for a living anyways, is design that crap. I'm assuming you're just extruding them from your drafting / CAD files for the house design anyways, right? No, Sean does his own modeling. He does have his slaves model a lot, but he does a lot of his own too. As his slaves do it. He does ride them like slaves sometimes. I've heard it. He does definitely go after him. Get to work. Hits him with a whip. Yeah, them kids know what they're doing too. They're pretty good at it. I would say in some ways they're better than I am. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, crap. Oh, belly showing. Can't have that. Too fat. I gotta lose some weight. I'm actually losing weight, believe it or not. I'm eating much less. Much less. It's so hard stuff, so bad. Yeah, you are bad. But you're that fun, kind of crazy bad, so it's okay. Could be worse, that's for sure. Seen worse. Much worse. So, Chris, how is that 3D printer parenting its own 3D printer printing thing going? How do I know that's a touchy subject? Crap. Not well. Yeah, I kind of got a hint at that over this past Sunday. You were sounding defeated. You can't give up on it, man. You gotta at least do it once. What's up, Steven? Mr. Lightspeed. Mr. Lightspeed, what does he call it? Internet comment farm or something? Mr. Comment Farm. What's up, Oddball? Odds Ball. What is odds? Okay. There's so much slop. Well, what do you want? Dude, it's gear driven and the gears are 3D printed. Such a piece of work. Oh my god. Need to have a. Oh, you bought an Artemis. Ooh. Artemis is so nice, but it's so expensive. What are they going for now? They're like $2,000, aren't they? $3,000. Yeah. 2350. That's pricey. I mean, it's worth it if you got the money. I would love one. I just right up there. You know, if I were to win Lotto tomorrow, there's like 3 printers I really, really want. I would love a Race 3D. I'd like a nice Delta, and it would probably be a See Me CNC if I were to get a Delta. And there was one other one I really wanted. I can't remember what the hell it is now. Probably have to get a Prusa too. Just because it's like a rite of passage. Yeah, no, it's. If I had $2,500 to blow right now, I'd buy one in a heartbeat. I just don't have the money. Well, Race 3D is big volume. The little Race 3D is what, 300 cubed? And the big one's like 400 by 800 or something, ain't it? Can't remember. And they're dual nozzled, which is not really a big deal anymore. Honestly, the thing I want to play with, I got to get a hold of one of them G-Techs. I really want to try one of the G-Techs. I don't even care if it's the little one or the little M10A or the M20A. I don't need the new big one. I want to try that blending nozzle. I think that would just be so cool. You could do such cool effects. And that, I know a couple people have been mentioning it when I talk about it, and they're like, oh, don't expect it's going to, like mix the colors. It does the, if the head's moving in one direction, you get one color, and if you're moving the other direction, you get another color. I'm like, that's like wicked. That's like what Filablend is doing with their filament. I love Filablend filament. I would love to be able to do that on my own control. Put whatever colors I want in there and just have it come out. And, anything on the left would be white and anything on the right would be blue. I think that would be awesome. And then have it, change too, because I'm sure it blends the color some. It's got to. I mean, it can't stay completely separate. Yeah, the CR10S is pretty cool. Isn't that the one that Glenn just got too? What one did Glenn just get? It was a CR10S, wasn't it? He's loving that thing. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice burner. Keto Hot? What the hell is a Keto Hot? Oh, you got the Mosquito Hot in for it, didn't you? Well, that shouldn't be that hard. Do you get the little adapter? You take the screws, you put the adapter on. It's just like an MK or a V6. Although Tornado doesn't take a V6, it takes one of those gravity hot ends, huh? That's a whole different thing. Talk text is started. Yeah, could be the user. Yeah, I put the 6mm nozzle on this thing, and I'm glad I did. I love that 6mm nozzle. It's great for the big stuff. I'm actually thinking about getting an 8 and trying it. I know because I know it's going to even stand out more, but I think for some of the big stuff I do on this, like I put a lot of vases on it just because it's fast and easy. It's big. And I think the 8mm nozzle would look cool in some of the vases, especially when you get into the fancy filaments. Like I got all the polyalchemy to burn through. Yeah, excuse me. Get late. It's almost midnight. An hour away. Yeah, no, I got away from the all metal hot ends. The only reason for all metal hot end is if you're using high end materials. You're doing nylon, yes. You're doing ABS, yeah, maybe. I'd go all metal if I was doing ABS. All the PLAs and TPUs I use, better off with the lined hot end than you are the all metal. Especially with the TPU. TPU loves to stick to the all metal. If I was running a lot of PETG, I'd think about going all metal. Although PETG sticks to metal, it sticks to everything. I don't know if it would be better with an all metal or not. I can never run PETG till I actually, because that had an all metal hot end on it. I've actually taken off into V6 and I've taken it's an aftermarket knockoff V6 that I bought a real E3D heat brake and nozzle for, and it jammed constantly. And I took the E3D all metal hot end out or heat brake out and put a cheapo lined hot end or heat brake in it, and it's run flawlessly ever since. I've never had a jam on that, and I run wicked retraction on it now. Actually, I lowered my retraction since I started using Ideamaker again. But I used to do like an 8 or 10 millimeter retraction on that with that big long modem tube, which is insane. It's like pulling it out of the nozzle and all the way up halfway into the freaking cold end. It's like all of the nozzle and then some. That pulls a lot of molten material up in there, back into the cold end. But it works. Works fine. Works better with the lined hot end than it ever did with the all metal. 6 glass bed. Yeah, I'm done with glass beds. I started making my own flex plates for $15 and I'm never ever going back. Nothing better than blue tape on one side, PEI on the other, pop it off with a flex. $5 piece of spring steel. It's not even spring steel, it's just regular galvanized steel. I got it, I don't know, Home Depot or Lowe's. Bunch of magnets. Stick them up underneath the bed and boom, you're done. No more playing around. Flex plate is definitely the way to go. Flex plate on, kind of iffy. I still get lifts and stuff. Even with PLA, I get lifts on PEI once in a while. It happens to be just the right, and I swear it's the atmosphere, the weather. But blue tape, it always sticks. Just always sticks. Sometimes it sticks too well, but the cool thing about blue tape is you just peel it off and you put a new piece of blue tape on there. But yeah, flex plate. I'll never do anything but a flex plate again. Yeah, I've learned to level these things. If you look at all my beds, you can't see it there, but I've actually gone and I did like a 50-point marker on the plate, magneted it down, find my highs and lows, because I don't use auto bed leveling. I do all mechanical. And you can take tape and put it underneath this on the actual heat bed. So it'll lift and lower, and with the magnetic bed, it'll flex the stuff, and I can get a perfectly flat bed that way. Like if you look at this, you can probably see some of it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's blue tape on this in spots. There's actually a strip going diagonal here, a strip going diagonal there, and a strip halfway diagonal there. And that pads that plate up, so when that bed heats up, it warps a little bit. It actually concaves a little bit in the middle, and the tape on that holds this in place. Or not this one, but you know what I mean. Same with this one over here. It's got tape in the middle of it. Levels it all out. You just layer up the tape wherever you need and level your bed. No more glass. Glass is too heavy. I mean, it's not a big deal on that, but the back and forth beds, I hated the glass on it. It worked great. The problem is it's a lot of weight going back and forth. It drags on the motors. You get the ghosting in it. You have to slow everything down. You got to kick your acceleration way down. Your jerk has got to either be way up or way down, depending on the machine and the motor. Not big on the glass. I mean, it works, and I used it. I still have it. It's too heavy. Just added weight we don't need. It is a good, quick way to get a flat face, for sure. That and I don't like the clips. I hate clips. I can't tell you how many times I'd be setting something up and I'd clip it on there and the nozzle goes to start, do a prime line or do anything. I goes clam and slams into the clip. Drove me nuts. The other thing I really like about the magnets is no more clips. I do have to put like one or two more magnets on there. I did find a place where the bed, especially that big one where I keep flexing it, it's not laying perfectly flat in the corners. It's just in the outer corners. It's the only place I have a problem now because I don't have a magnet there. Yeah, I used to too. I had to destroy a nozzle. It didn't like bend the nozzle or anything, but it took a chunk out of the actual tip of the nozzle. So it started extruding and it was just like, the actual orifice hole was all damaged. That was the end of that. That's when I said, nope. That's actually when I literally, the first time I ever did a magnet bed, I said, I'm going to try a magnet bed myself. And it works so easy. Yes and no, but again, I never crank it up that high. You could buy the expensive magnets, and actually on this one, I'm noticing the magnets are dying on it. But the way I do the magnets, I actually glue blue tape to the magnet. Then I stick the magnet up under the bed. Now, they've been on that for a year now, over a year now. But they are, because when I run PETG, I notice they get a little weaker each time I use them. But they're $4 for all the magnets. So if I get a year out of them for $4, they're blue. I don't glue them to the bed, so they're blue taped. I glue blue tape to the magnet, and then I use the blue tape to hold it to the bed. That way, I can just pop the magnets off, replace them. And you can buy better magnets. I just buy the cheapo whatever I get at the Home Depot, Lowe's. That one I've got the round ones on because they're smaller and lighter. That one I didn't care that much about the weight. So I got the big, huge bar magnets on it. Them things you ain't killing them. It'll be years before I lose magnetism on those. But yes, the heat does slowly kill the magnetism on them. They lose power over time. I think they just lose power over time, period. Yeah, I keep looking at those, and I like them. Where in the country am I? I'm in Connecticut, New England. Connecticut. What's up, One Raz? Why not use neoprene magnets? Because I might as well buy one of the kits to get those. They are ridiculously expensive. That whole unit there, everything, all the magnets, the whole 9 yards, when I went and got it, I think it was like $16. The neoprene magnets would be like 3 times that just for the magnets. Neodymium or whatever they call them. I could call them neoprene. I don't know why. Because I can't pronounce anything proper. Got one of the brain farts where I always mispronounce everything. Shalom. Yes, I know they do. And that's why if you buy their bed's like what, $100 to buy it. So does Build Tack, and so does I don't know. There's a couple, 3 of them out now. That's why everyone's going to those magnet sheets, but those magnet sheets have the same problems these do. If you go to get like the Creality magnet sheet or that Bam Tack one, they have a 90-degree temperature max, which for me is fine. I don't print, ABSs and nylons, and I don't need the heat. I almost never run these above 40 degrees. I run them at 4 degrees for PLA, and half the time with this one. It takes so long to heat up. I don't even turn it on. When I'm printing PLA, half the time I don't even turn it on. I put it on the blue tape and I just let it go. If I run it on the PEI, if I want that nice finish from the PEI, then I kick it up to 70, 80 degrees. But for blue tape, half the time I kick it up to 40 degrees and shut it right the hell back off. It just takes too much juice to keep that big ass plate hot. And you don't need it with PLA. If you put it on blue tape and you set your height right, everything's level and true and straight, you use blue tape, it just sticks with PLA. But, you know, you got to not care about the surface. If you care about the surface, you got to go to either glass or PEI or Build-Tac or something like that. And then you do need the heat. I have a PEI sheet for that one too somewhere. I don't use it that often unless I'm doing something really big where I don't want to have to deal with scraping the blue tape off it for days. Or I want that nice finish. Oh, I just use a blue tape. Just easy, it's cheap. I don't have to worry about it. If I do something stupid and stove the nozzle into it, it's no big deal. It's a piece of tape. I'm not trying to freaking de-adhesive one of those PLI or PEI sheets with all the glues, and blue tape's easier and faster and cheaper. And yeah, I ditched it for years. Dude, I've got so many beds. I've tried every kind of bed. Believe it or not, the absolute best for PLA and TPU, it's do not do it with PETG because they'll adhere permanently. But Lexan, piece of Lexan. It's absolutely the best for PLA. It just sticks. And it sticks perfectly. And it gives you a beautiful finish. And it's awesome. But it has two issues. One, you cannot kick it up above 40 degrees. It'll take it. It'll start. It'll flex at over 40 degrees. You kick it up to like 70 degrees, and you can put clips all you want around it. It'll stretch the clips out. It lifts right up off the bed. I never tried it with TPU. But that's the other thing. I don't like the TPU on the PEI. It doesn't stick very well. Blue tape just works. It just ABS, PETG, PLA, it just works. Yeah, I used to use alcohol. Actually, believe it or not, lately I've been using glue stick. And I put a little bit of glue stick like right in the middle of the bed. And then I use my rubbing alcohol to spread a really thin layer of glue stick. And I found that makes it not only stick well, not only it sticks any better, it sticks well, but it makes it release easier without tearing up the blue tape. Because I get, on the average, like a dozen prints out of a blue tape. Unless I do something really big. If I do anything really big and solid, if it's a solid flat fur face, I'll do it on PEI. The blue tape, guarantee you that you're going to peel up all your blue tape and you're going to be soaking it and scraping it, which is not that big a deal. That's another thing everyone makes a big deal about, the blue tape stuck to the bottom. You put it you take a plate and you put a 16th of an inch of water in the bottom or a rubbing alcohol, and you set the print in it for 10 or 15 minutes. You flip it over and you can rub the blue tape off. Blue tape is made to unadhesive in water. The adhesive actually spreads when it hits water. That's how it seals. People don't realize that. Blue tape is designed when you put it up against a wall and you hit it with paint, that liquid makes the glue kind of expand and spread, smooth out. It actually liquefies the glue and fills all the voids. That's how blue tape works. Painter's tape, Frogger tape's even more so. Their stuff, they have a special, what makes Frogger tape or frog tape or whatever they call it, that green stuff, what makes it special is they use normal blue tape. If it's 2 inches wide, they use normal blue tape adhesive, 3/4 of an inch in the middle, and then the last half inch on either side is an even more soft / dissolvable adhesive. And the minute the paint hits it, it actually gels. It expands a little bit and gels. And that's what makes it seal, is that it expands into the wall, and all the little microscopic crevices in the wall, it seals up against the minute the paint hits it. So you don't get a odd paint line. But yeah, I still do. I mean, I use rubbing alcohol on it. I use it a lot of times to clean it after if something doesn't come quite off. You wipe it with a little rubbing alcohol, and like the, you know, um, brim or something that a little piece of it gets stuck, it usually pops right off. Yeah, don't be doing hairspray around your printer. Doing it on the paper towel is good. Taking it outside is good. Do not spray hairspray in the room with the printer. It's really, really bad. Gets in your bearings, gets on the rods, clogs everything up. Hairspray is so bad. People just don't realize how bad it is. I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful product for it. It works great. You realize hairspray, all it is Elmer's glue. You can use Elmer's glue. It's the same crap. It's literally the same stuff. It's liquefied Elmer's glue. Why did all of your messages get deleted? How did you hide Lightspeed? Well, that's kind of evil of you, Sean. Sean hid Lightspeed for some reason. Sean's just having fun. Whatever. Lightspeed doesn't probably care anyways. He's just a comment troll farm. As what's his name will tell you. What the hell's his name there? Prototype test, whatever that idiot is. So sad because that guy was actually halfway decent. I used to watch his videos, and then I've noticed like over the last like year and a half, he's just all his videos are whining about something. Even when he was trying to do something good, he was just whiny. One of those, I know better than everyone else. Wah. Anyway, we won't go there. I've tortured that poor guy enough. I made a lithophane of I don't know if you guys saw that when he was doing his whole crying thing. Tom Filament Frenzy redid the guy's face. He took a clip and he took SpongeBob SquarePants' eyes all crying and slapped them over his face on Twitter. So this guy's guy. Well, I took that photo and I brought it into whatever it is, 3DP Rocks or whatever it is that makes the lithophanes. And I made a lithophane of it. I haven't printed it yet, but I left it up there. It's on my Google Drive. If anyone wants to just ask, I'll give you the link to it. You can print your own crying, whining. I called it Wah. The file is named Wah. Who's all still here? Participants. Just one Ras and Michael. Funny. Many people watching, but there's only 2 participants. That's just ridiculous. Our system really, really sucks. Really, really sucks. And I'm out of soda. What time is it? Holy crap. It's 20 after 11. Probably go to bed. But I'm not. I'm here. Oddsball is here. A rat fink. It's a rat fink. Oh, is that the actual rat? How do I know that rat fink? Yes, he is. He's in the chat. Rat Fink, wasn't that a cartoon or something? Matter of fact, where is that thing? Stuff. Oh, it's not on this one. It's in here. Symbols of rat rods. Oh, that's right. That's how I know it. I used to drag race. Dirt. Wah. Wah. Turn on. Hello. Get shareable link. Oh, what happened? Get shareable link. Okay. Knock that shit off. Share. Get shareable link. Copy link. There we go. You know, if you guys want WAN Lithophane, that's where it is. You can download it. Print yourself a WAN. WAN. Yeah, rat rods. They've been around a while. See, I was drag racing in the 70s and 80s. That was done in the mid 80s. That and the Great Pumpkin, which you guys probably never heard of, but he was the guy to beat. It was an old 50s Camaro or a Corvette. It was bright orange. I mean, like bright orange. And he had a pumpkin painted on the hood. He named the car the Great Pumpkin. That car was fast. He was the guy to beat local. The Mongoose. God, I forgot all about those. That was so long ago. That was the 70s. It was mid 70s, early 70s. They're still racing that car, though, aren't they? I mean, they still have, it's not the same car, I know. Those two used to gang up all the time and race together. The Snake or Cobra or something and Mongoose. They used to race side by side and Dragon back in the day. God, I was a kid when they were racing. Did they? Yeah, it was kind of one of them things. I used to have the Hot Wheels back when I was a kid. We're talking early 70s. So that's how long they've been doing that. That's kind of what got me into drag racing, was watching them. I used to drag race a little bit occasionally with my Camaro. I told that story before. Me and my friend, we both built Camaros. I built a 1980 with a little 283 that I bored and stroked and put a high rise on, and it was all built actually for a blower, but I never actually mounted a blower on it. But it was I built it as a smaller but real high rev. I could do 9,000 RPM easy in that motor, and it wouldn't even think about it the way I built it. A friend of mine built a 70 Camaro with a massive 455 big block that he bored and stroked, put freaking all kinds of stuff in the high rises. Pretty much matched mine, but it was a bigger motor and much lighter car because the 80 Camaro was like the heaviest Camaro ever. And one time he just finished building his. I'd had mine about 6 months. I'd finished it. I'd raced it a couple times. And he came up to the time trials with me. He's like, well, let's do a side-by-side. I'm like, sure. You know, he's going to smoke me. You know, it's a lighter Camaro. He'd stripped his too and put the roll cage in it, the whole 9 yards. I mean, his was a real chopped and done the whole rear end and re-cured it, the whole 9 yards. I mean, his was a real drag strip. Mine was a street car that went fast. And, you know, we were just like, let's see how much faster it is. I'll never forget. We were sitting there side by side, and the light went green, and I took off, and I left him behind, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, he should have been walking past me. And I get almost to the finish line, and I look in my rear mirror, and he forgot. I don't know if you guys know, but Camaro's a unibody. It's got a half frame, semi frame. It's got a frame in the front under the front axles, and it's got a frame in the back. And, you know, from the steering wheel to the back seat, it's just the floor pan that's your frame. But when you drag race it, you go out and you used to buy these rails. It's basically just a big chunk of square steel tubing that you slide up in there and you slide onto the rail and you weld it on. And I never even welded mine on. I bolted it on because that's all I needed for my motor. He never put the rails on it. He punched that car and it just went. His rear wheels were sitting flat on the track, and his left front tire or his right front tire was like a foot in the air. Twisted the whole car right now. Corkscrewed it. Funniest thing I ever saw. Pissed him off. He had a lot of money in that car too. A lot of money. I mean, he had like 15 grand, which is like 100 grand now. We're talking early 80s. And we were both just out of high school. Twisted that car right in half. Corkscrewed it. Like, you dummy, you didn't put rails on that thing. He's like, I forgot to put my rails on. He had them. He just never put them on. I was like, you freaking moron. You just destroyed that car. It's absolutely, the body of that car is absolutely useless. You can't even straighten that thing out after that. I'll never forget. It just torqued. I couldn't believe it torqued that car that much. I mean, I heard of them, you know, stretching the car a little bit. And, you know, you get the shimmy in it because the hood's a little twisted. But oh my God, it just torqued that whole car right up. It was a big ass motor he had in it too. You know, maybe I'll freaking. I wonder if they must have 3D models for drag cars. They should almost 3D print a drag car. Yeah. He actually had wheelie bars on it. Mine didn't. Mine was a 283 in the heaviest Camaro. The 1980 Camaro was the heaviest Camaro ever made. 4,200 pounds. 42 or 40. 48. I don't know. That's right, because that's why there was no. If you look, there's a 77 is the last year of the 70s Camaro. And then there was no 78, and then 79 it came back out because those were the years that the federal law came out with. You had to have the crash bars in the doors, which the Camaro was never designed to handle. The original 70s designed Camaro could not. You couldn't put them in the door. The hinges didn't line up right, and just would never pass the crash test. So they had to redesign the body and all that. That's when they went to the rubber, what I called the 80s. It was actually 79 when they did it, I think. 79. They went to that rubber neoprene nose instead of the fiberglass one. Because they had to change the whole fender, and the fender wouldn't take the hinges and all that, wouldn't take the crash test. So they had to change the body. It became wider and taller and heavier, much heavier. Much heavier. Yeah, the 60s Camaros were the nicest. Those 3 years, and I'll take one of any of them. I don't care. I love all 3 years of the 60s Camaro. And I really, really like the 50s Corvettes. The 60s were okay. The 70s, it's funny. When I was a kid, I liked the 70s Corvette. I look at them now and I'm like, ew. It just looks too flashy. I mean, it didn't look. You look at it now and knowing, with actual knowledge of aerodynamics and everything, I look at the 70s and I'm like, oh. Yeah, see, I didn't really like the Mach 1 Mustangs either. I don't like the hatch. I don't like the fastback that much. I mean, it's a nice car. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't not take one. They're nice cars. I just don't like the look of the fastback. I like the classic old. That's the other one. I like the classic old original Mustangs. The 60s Mustangs are just awesome. And you don't even have to rod them. The only thing you should do to either a Camaro or a Mustang from the 60s, I can't stand them when they have the sagging butt. You got and don't have to jack it up. You just got to level the car. You need to put a proper suspension and level the car out. It just looks stupid with the dragging ass butt. The only thing I don't like about the 60s Camaros and Mustangs, either one. Otherwise, I like them both. I love them both. The old Thunderbirds, those were nice too. The old 442s. The 60s 442s were really nice. Monsters, massive tanks. They did not really go fast. Honestly, the only fastback I used to really love, and it's sad to say this, but it just looked cool. It was a piece of junk. It was the AMC Javelin. That was a cool looking car. What a piece of crap, but it was a cool looking car. A fastback cap for the F-150? No. I have not seen it. I don't even want a truck anymore. I used to have trucks. I went to vans and yeah, they're ugly, but you know what? They're much more functional. My tools go in it, they stay dry. I don't have to worry about taking them out, moving around. If I go to the store, I can lock the doors and they're safe inside. I don't have to worry about somebody just walking by and reaching in the back of my truck. Or putting a cap on it. You put the cap on it, and then any of the tools you need are way up in the front by the cab, so you're like crawling into the screw that. I'm done with trucks. They're nice if for a second vehicle. If I had money where I could afford 2 or 3 cars, I would probably have a work van, a car, and then last I would have a pickup. Yeah, I mean they're nice. I just can't. To me, they're useless. They're great for moving, hauling stuff around. But most of the stuff I can haul in a truck, I can haul in my van. And I don't have to worry about weather in my van. I can put it in the van and close the door, and that's that. It can rain or snow or sleet. I don't have to worry about what's in it. I don't have to cover it. I don't have to tarp it. I don't have to worry about it. It's got access. I can get in any of the doors. I can get to the stuff that's in the front. I can get to the stuff that's in the back. I can put the stuff on the shelves. kind of done with trucks. I like the Raptor truck. You seen that thing? The Ford? I mean, it's not really a Ford anymore. It's that modified Ford. I think someone down in Texas, it's a little company down in Texas that modifies the crap out of the F-250, I think. And they make the F-250 or F-150 Raptor. And they put like a massive motor in it. It's got like 20 inches of suspension travel, and the thing's just a freaking monster. That thing's cool. But that's, again, it's a toy. It's not something I want to drive around every day. I do like the Toyota trucks. The Toyota trucks are nice. You know, it's funny. I used to like the Nissan trucks too. The older Nissan, 2000, 2001, 2002, the Nissan pickups they are like, that is probably the nicest driving vehicle I've ever been in. My boss used to have one, and the dumbass sold it. And he went, literally in a year, he had a really nice Nissan pickup. I'm pretty sure it was like a 2001 or 2002. Thing was gorgeous. I mean, it was beautiful. Rode like a car, drove nice, was quiet. You know, it's still a truck, but it was the half bed, but whatever. He's the boss. He doesn't really do anything with it anyways. Carries a couple of boxes of tools around. That's it. But anyways, thing drove so beautifully. He sold that and bought like, he literally in a course of a year had like 9 cars. I'm not kidding you. Like every month he bought a new car because he was never happy with it. And then just before Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, he bought another one that was much newer. And it's nowhere near as good. I mean, it's still a nice truck, don't get me wrong. Well, it's not as good as that old one. There's something about those early 2000 series Nissans that were just really nice driving cars. I mean, it just drove so beautifully. Rode so nice. It was just a really nice truck. Bucket van. Well, my van's a little different. That's the other thing. That's why I love my van. Everyone's like, get rid of it. I'm like, I can't. I have a Chevy Astro van, which the first thing everyone does is, oh my God, it's a little itty van. No. Chevy Astro vans, they made what they call a long bed, which it is. It's got the 6-foot bed in it. It's not the 4 or the 5, because the mini is the short is the 4, standard is 5, and mine's actually a 6.6. It won't quite take a door in it. A door 6.8 plus the jams, and you have to slide them into the cage. But anyways, mine was actually a dealer modified one. It was made to carry cable. You know, like you see the phone company with their big 8-foot spools. Mine used to take those spools. It was gutted. It used to have an electronic lift on the back bumper on it. When I bought it, it had the electronic lift on it. And it would take 2 spools, like massive, like 4 or 5, 6 foot tall spools of cable. So the rear end, it's a 1-ton Astro van. It's actually not 1 ton. It's 7, I don't know. They call it a 1 ton. It's not quite a 1 ton. But the rear end of my van is jacked up. It looks like a dragster when it's driving down the road empty. It's basically got like a 8 or 10 inch lift kit on the rear tire, on the rear axle. But the front end is also lifted. And it's got the big 16-inch tires, not the 14 or the 13. It's got massive 16-inch tires, extra wide. It's just a monster. But it rides so nice. It doesn't ride like a van. It's not all wishy-washy. And it's not all bouncy like a pickup trucks are. You know, a standard pickup truck. Your Tacoma is not bouncy. Toyota makes a really nice riding pickup truck. That I do know. This thing rides like a car. It doesn't do that floaty, you know, like when you go around a corner and you feel like you're going to lean over and fall into the car next to you. It doesn't do that. It rides really nice. And it's got plenty of power. It's got more power than a V8. That 261 or 262 V6 that's in that thing has got nut. When I first got it, I got it used at 180,000 miles on it. I bought it with 180,000 miles on it. And I still have it. That's 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. My neighbor went and bought a brand new Ford Econoline, full size V8, 350, your basic starter Econoline Ford van. And we just left. I was actually working for him on a job site, setting modulars. He went with me, or I went with him to pick it up. And we took because we just left the job. So we took all his tools out of his current van and put them in my van. He didn't want to put them in a new one because the first thing we do was carpet them and put shelving in. And so he didn't want to load the van up and then have to unload it and get all dirty. It was brand new. So I had all my tools in mine, plus all of his tools. Now we're talking air compressors, generators, multiples. Him and his buddy were in his. I was in mine with all the tools. We got on the highway and I walked away from him. My little V6 was faster than his 350. Yeah, I had the all-wheel drive. It's not a 4x4 all-wheel drive. It is different. That's how I got into the Astrovan. The company I used to work for when I was out on Long Island, we had corporate cars. And I didn't want, everybody got pickup trucks or the big, Chevy Econoline or whatever Chevy's version is of the big, monster van. I said, I don't want a monster van. I want a little van. I'm working on these really tight sites in New York City and Long Island. And I don't want to be driving a big ass van around. I don't need a big ass van. I'm not carrying material. All our material comes on semi trucks. I don't need it on my truck, on my van. So I'd get me an Astrovan, because we were actually renting from Enterprise. And they gave me the sheet and said, choose a car, as long as it's in this bracket of affordability, get whatever the hell you want, as long as it works. So I got the Astrovan, and it was the all-wheel drive. Oh my God, was that nice. The only problem with that is it's like 8-9 miles per gallon when you're getting the cargo unit like these are. So when I went to buy mine, the dealer that I bought it from had 3 of them. They had 2 all-wheel drive and the 1 2-wheel drive. And at 8 miles per gallon, I'm like, I think I'll get the 2-wheel drive. It'll save me some gas. I'll get 15, 20 miles per gallon with the 2-wheel drive. Well, no, it gets 12. And, but the all-wheel drive was just so much. I could take that thing mud womping in that all-wheel drive, and it was nice. Yeah, no. I actually, with my corporate one, that was the all-wheel drive corporate one, we had a lumber truck. Now, it was just a flatbed, lumber truck like you see delivering lumber to people's houses. Get stuck in the mud, and I pulled them out with my Astrovan. It had better traction than a dually flatbed. Because for one, it was lighter, so it just floated on top of the mud, and it was all-wheel drive. And it pulled him out like nothing. Yanked him right out of the mud. And he was sunk. He was sunk down to the axle. That thing was awesome. If I knew now what I knew that, if I knew then what I know now, when I went and bought mine, I would have taken one of the all-wheel drive ones over my 2-wheel drive. It saved me $100. That's all it saved me. There was 3 of them sitting there. They were all from the same company. It was basically the company that used to drive mine. It was only 2 years old with 180,000 on it. All it did was drive from Boston, New York, and back, carrying coils of internet cable. It was an internet company. It had coax cable, and it had a coil of coax and a coil of Cat5. Big, massive, like 6, 8 foot tall, whatever would fit in the thing. I don't 8 foot tall won't fit in my van, but they were huge. Like you see on the side of the road when the cable company or the phone company or power companies rerunning lines down the street. That's what it carried. It had those big wooden spools in it. 2 of them. That's all it had in it. No tools, no nothing. Had those 2 spools and the lift gate on the rear end. So they roll the spool up, lock it into the lift gate, hit the little hydraulic button, and go neat and roll it up into the tailgate. That's all that thing did. Drive back and forth from New York and deliver spools of coils, wire. Man, that thing's got not. It's getting tired now. I got 200. Then I got 250 on it, 240. It's about done. I want to kind of rebuild it though, but I kind of don't. Yeah, I had a Ranger for a while too. I like the Ranger. They're nice. Well, it's almost midnight. I should probably get off of here. Who's even left in here? Just Michael. I don't want to even talking anymore. Yeah, I wish they'd kept the Astro van. The more I'm looking at those new, like the little Ford Transits or whatever they are, I mean, they're okay, but the only thing I've seen I really liked is the new. I don't really want to call it a van. It's almost like a lifted. It's almost like a tall station wagon. Nissan makes a nice van, and it looks really sweet. They're like $35,000. Ridiculously overpriced for a shell. There's nothing even in them. They're just a shell with 2 seats and a steering wheel. I don't remember what year my Ranger was. What year was my Ranger? I think it was like an 85 or an 88. Mid 80s. 2-wheel drive, stripped down, basic, standard. I like that truck. Probably the worst snow vehicle I ever owned, but nice truck otherwise. Good on gas. That thing got like, yeah. If I wasn't beating on it where it was a standard, I used to beat on it. It was fun. You get mid-20s out of it just driving it around. Oh, I didn't have it loaded. Yeah, all my trucks were stick shift. I had one automatic pickup. It was just because I happened to walk into it, and it was. I've had a couple cars that were stick shift. I've had cars either or. My van's an automatic. I don't even need to get an Astro on standard. We all use that R700 with the 2-speed rear end. That's the other thing. My van's got the 2-speed rear end on it. It's actually an 8-speed vehicle. I keep calling it a rear end. It's not really a rear end. It's the bell housing. There's an extended transmission on the bell housing on mine. Yeah, they do drive like a tractor. Actually, mine wasn't bad. My Ranger was pretty nice driving. It wasn't sloppy at all, really. It's actually a pretty nice driving vehicle. Now the Mavericks. I had a 70 Maverick and a 72 Maverick. Talk about we're talking lawn tractor style driving. Like you're driving down the highway and you go to take a corner and you feel like you just want to hand your steering wheel to the passenger. Like that. Mm-hmm. Those were the worst driving things ever. Oh my God, the Ford Maverick. That is by and far the worst driving car I've ever been in. I had 2 of them. God, they were Anyway, I'm gonna kill it, man. It's been fun. It's been real. Thanks for stopping by. Time to go to bed. It's almost midnight. 10 of. You guys have fun. I'm sure we'll see y'all tomorrow at one of the streams. Fun in the Country Basement is tomorrow at 4, right? Diesel conversion on it. Loco motion, yeah. Yeah, anyways, I'm off. Good night.